Welcome to Breaking Biscuits, the experience. Today we have an amazing story that we don't want you to miss. This particular episode is called A Life-Changing Decision in the Midst of a Family Crisis. And Mark, this story is about really the true meaning of giving your life to those you love, regardless of the obstacles. And you and I talked to Matt here a few days ago, and we really dove deep into his life and his heart of why he's so compelled to donate a kidney to what he called an acquaintance in church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was very intrigued by, he was an acquaintance at church. And of course, you and I have been in church all our life, but I've never seen love in action on this level. But Matt did say, I got to do something. But the thing that really touched my heart was he said, I get to be a living donor. In other words, I get to see the fruit of my sacrifice to someone. And of course, Chris said it saved his life and family. What I love about what Chris said, well, we weren't really friends, but right now, me and Matt, we're family. And so that really, it's just astounding to say, because a lot of people are kidney donors or organ donors after they die, but to be able to give one willingly in the midst of a crisis, their own crisis, is astounding to me. So it was great.
Yeah, Mark, and you and I are doing this really because we're trying to meet some of these extraordinary needs that both families are going through. Chris and Matt, they're extraordinary needs, as you can imagine. And at the end of this show today, you're going to get a chance, our listeners are, to enter a giveaway. Buy a ticket, enter a giveaway to win a 4-night luxury stay on Table Rock Lake in Branson, Missouri, in this amazing property. Sleeps 14 people, and we'll show you kind of at the end of the video what the property looks like. But our goal is to sell 1,000 tickets. This is for both families, and Breaking Biscuits donated this, and this is just to help them. And we're excited about just being a part of this. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's listen to Matt's story.
Let's do it.
But I think there's more to this story for you than just giving a kidney. Like, this goes back to your belief system, to how God has changed your life. How did you get to the point where you heard Chris that somehow your faith was inspired to act?
So in my youth, I was not a good kid. We'll just say 20 years ago, I was a completely different person. Heck, I had 2 felonies before I even turned 18. But in that time, I was always forced to go to church by my mother. It was just something that had to be done in her house, kicking or screaming. So in that time of going to church, I always remember a scripture, John 15:13. It's lay down your life. There's no greater love to lay down your life for your friends, basically. And I thought that was kind of cool as a kid, being like, oh yeah, I'll do anything for my friends. Even the Bible tells you to do that. Stick up for your homies, you know. The thing is, when I was that delinquent kid, Chris's wife was right there alongside. We grew up together. My sister and his wife were best friends growing up. She's seen that side of me. And not once did that person judge me. She's always been kind to me. Always, no matter what shape or form I was in. I mean, all this was 20 years ago, so coming up to today, well, at least when we actually heard that Chris needed a kidney, it hit me just as soon as they said that. Whoever told me that, There's no greater love than to lay down one's life for a friend or friends, plural. And it was a quick and easy decision to start the testing, the whole process. So yeah, that was an easy decision as far as, hey, someone needs something. Just so happens, I've known Chris for a long time, but like he said, we were acquaintances more than friends. What tied us together was Faye. He was always nice to me. I was always nice to him. That part didn't seem to matter much. He needed something. I had it. Might as well try it. I really didn't know I could give a kidney away until this came about. So, news to me, you can give a organ away when you're alive still. I guess there's a risk in it, but not enough to not weigh the option. But as far as going in, getting the test done, by the way, I'm deeply afraid of needles. Thank you, Chris. I think they poked me 6 times. Yeah, 6 times one day. And I will say I didn't faint once, but every other time I have. I'd rather be hit in the jaw than stuck with a needle. But still, worthy cause.
But typically in this circumstance, a living donor is family because you have the match. Like you have a genetic link, so you have a high probability or a higher probability of a match. And then it's because it's family. Yeah, of course I'll give a kidney. But it's not either one of those. But tell us about the match part, because to me that is just an absolute miracle.
That really is. Going into this thing, I was going to be a match because Chris and I are like, he's a little taller than me, but we're pretty much the same size. So during this whole process, what they needed was same blood type, same kidney size, same build. Everything's got to be perfect to a T. And I don't know how to put it in words, but other than to say that after all the testing, it was just a perfect match. I couldn't ask for a better match to someone. Like, he was almost made to be my brother. So,
and how did that make you feel about your decision that you made when you heard you were a perfect match?
Well, honestly, I texted Faye right then and there. I wasn't shocked. It was just amazed how God can make perfection happen.
Yeah, I thought about when Chris was talking and sharing his story, just the ups and downs he went through, like challenge to lose his faith. And he said, I just fight through it. I know you would never share this unless I'd ask you, but about a month ago in the parking lot at church, tell the rest of the story.
So my wife, I have a wife and 3 kids. They were coming to church as usual. She was having a perfect morning, and they got to church early. It was probably 10:10, and I get a phone call while I was up practicing praise and worship, and it was my oldest son saying that mom just fell and got hurt really bad. Well, I heard her in the background say, I know I broke it. And I get there and her foot is pointed the wrong direction. She had broke her tibia and fibula, to the point where the surgeon said it's the worst break you could possibly do in your ankle. She finally had her surgery 2 weeks later. I wish I could show you the picture of the repair, because it's basically 2 bars going down her ankle with 12 pins in each bone that got shattered in there.
And at any point did you think, man, I just got to put this whole kidney thing on hold?
I didn't even think about it, to be honest, until I seen Faye, his wife, at the store, and she said, now we would totally understand if you want to prolong this thing and get her better. I was like, Faye, no, you're stuck with me. We're doing this thing on the 9th. Of course, I had to go back and talk to Lindsay. She's like, oh yeah, you're stuck doing this thing. I know if he got us this far, he's going to get us further.
I think what I like what you said, Toby, is in my whole 42-year spiritual journey, I've always seen people read the scriptures and they always help out, but they always give to their family. They make sure your family's fed, your extended family has homes, your extended family goes on vacation, your extended family. But I had never really seen it like the book of Acts. And the book of Acts talks about everyone helping everyone. And it wasn't just, in other words, it wasn't just a bloodline, it was a spiritual family. And everyone was the same. And no, Jesus didn't say, no greater love to lay down your life for your family. He said there's no greater love than to lay down your life for your friend. And Jesus told the disciples in John, I don't call you servants or followers, I call you my friends. And when he called them friends, then he laid his life down. So he set a pattern.
Hey, Mark, can I say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go in for testing, you go in to meet, I think I counted 7 different people, like therapists, the surgeons, Samantha, the manager of this whole thing. She's some kind of nurse. Anyway, every single one of them, the first thing it seemed like they said is, this is going to hurt. It's almost like they wanted to talk me out of it. I had Lindsay on video the whole time because she couldn't go with me. And she thought that was fascinating as well. To the point where she's like, oh, I guess it's going to hurt, isn't it, every time a new person came in. And not that I like pain or anything. It's just, it still wasn't a factor to not make this thing happen. But I always thought about what he did on the cross for us. You imagine being stuck and thorns on the head and the things he had to deal with. So I guess it's not much to suffer a little bit to save another.
We want to talk a little bit about the giveaway that we're going to do for these 2 families. You heard both the kind of ladies describe some of the needs that are out there. They're honestly just overwhelming, massive. There's men that can't work for extended period of time, care that's needed. It goes on and on and on. And what happened, and the reason you and I are here, is Breaking Biscuits, which is a nonprofit you and I are a part of, decided to donate a 4-night stay in this amazing condo. It's not really a condo, it's a lodge in Branson, Missouri. It sleeps 14 people. It is just an amazing place to be, an amazing location, amazing amenities and all the like. So we're gonna do a giveaway, and you'll see in the link below where you can click and be able to buy some tickets for the giveaway and give a chance to win. Our goal is to sell 1,000 tickets, and it's a lofty goal, but I think we can do it. And we just want to take 45 seconds, so don't click out. Here is a picture and a video of the actual property that you will be staying at if you win. So thanks everybody once again for joining us on Breaking Biscuits, and we look forward to seeing you next time. God bless.